Hi, this is Susie Cheel, and today I'm talking with the beautiful Summer Louise. We're looking at the Heart Whisper cards, which were born out of my own healing journey to help heal myself. They're all from individual paintings with hearts on them, with the exception of one, and all the messages are channeled. Summer came to me a couple of weeks ago. She'd actually broken her ankle. If you had a look now, you see she's got a moon boot on for a reading. And you were inspired and then came to buy the cards. She's had some very interesting, I get the most beautiful messages from her about the power of the cards and how they're helping her really shift more into loving yourself and more into finding that and trusting that intuition that's within that we all have. So welcome, Summer.
Thank you.
And I probably should say, Summer is, how would you classify yourself? A heart-centered entrepreneur?
Yeah, definitely.
And they're the sort of people I love working with. So Summer, let's share your experience of when you first got the cards.
Well, I'm a bit of a card junkie, so I have a lot of cards, but these ones just felt really nice to start with in my hands. I just really liked them.
Yeah, they've got a silk finish.
Yeah. So I was playing with them, and the very first time I pulled a card, I was just chose to pull one card a day and get my morning message. And I kept getting this card for about 7 days straight, rest. And I thought, well, of course, that's obvious. I've broken my ankle. I need to rest. And I wasn't really resting the way I was supposed to be resting. And I was getting in trouble by lots of people for not resting. But so I decided to sit on the couch and put my foot up and do my work that way. But then I continued to get the card rest every day. Out of all the cards in the deck, rest, rest, rest. So I was getting quite frustrated by this. And I contacted Susie. And we had a little bit of a discussion around this particular card, and what come from that was I realized that what I thought was rest, physically resting, was not the rest the card was calling for. I needed to rest mentally and emotionally and really disconnect from my outside world and go within. So once I finally made peace with the rest card and decided to take that on, and it didn't mean doing nothing all day, it just meant setting aside time and space internally for myself. Then I pulled the listen card. I thought, finally something different. And it made sense to me that once you rest and go within and really stop all of the thinking and the overthinking and all of the emotions that come with that, that you then are able to hear the inner voice.
That's right.
So the listening was really quite exciting for me because I really was yearning for getting back in touch with that aspect of myself that I felt like I'd lost in all the doing. So I was really grateful for that. And then once I started practicing the listening, Susie gave me some advice on how else to use the cards. And I was asking a question of, what do I need today? Whereas Susie said, why don't you try asking, what does my heart want to whisper to me today? And that's when I drew this one, Inner Peace. And that made perfect sense because I needed to rest in order to listen, to find inner peace. And that changed a lot for me. And it's actually changing what I thought I wanted is not necessarily what I want. So getting in touch with that inner peace is bringing through greater levels of clarity, as well as authenticity and truth, which has been really powerful and enlightening.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's so interesting that, you know, that through, I suppose, a set of cards that I design to help people really do this, are working in this way for someone. I mean, I'm excited. I love the messages she sends me. And what I'm finding is the more readings I'm doing with entrepreneurs, what's coming up all the time is this, are you doing any self-love work? What about the mirror work? I know I had a mirror. I have one. This is one of the exercises, and I did ask Summer, was can we all look in the mirror and say, I love you, Susie. I really love you. And do it 4 or 5 or 6 times a day. You know, Louise Hay developed the mirror work because people aren't loving themselves. And this is the one thing I'm finding with nearly all of the people I'm doing readings with. Oh, yeah, well, I know I tell my clients I should do it or whatever else, but we need to do it. We need to have, and the journey that Summer's on at the moment excites me just so much, because it's probably how I got to even developing the things, because I'm a card junkie as well. But now I just use these. Occasionally I use another set, but mainly I use these. So this is, you know, this, if you want to tap into the power of the truth of you, I love that you said that, the truth of who you are, you do need really to take time each day to listen. And, you know, it's something you can, everybody says, no time. Everybody's got 5 extra minutes, 10 extra minutes a day.
Yeah, and I honestly think it's the most important work you can do as an entrepreneur is to stop long enough to listen. That's how I started. That's how I got my original messages on what I needed to do. And then the busyness took over. And I think we all fall victim to that, even though we set this intention, we don't make it the priority. But now for me, it is, my day is centered around this, from these cards. And the reason I love these cards so much over all the others that I've got is because I can relate to all of them.
Yes.
So like there's some that I've got that I'm like, oh, I don't really know what that means, or I can't really relate to that.
All right, there's a couple of cards in here that every now and again, I mean, this one is not my favourite card, but whenever I pull it, it's the focus card, which is a card, one of the cards for March was the focus card. And there's another card in here that I often wonder why I put it in. I can probably never find it. It's the smile card. I think, why do I get that? Or, you know, somebody said, I wanted to put a nature card in. It's so important that we ground ourselves every day. So when we get the nature card, we know that we have to move away. Of course, it's the one card you can never find.
But I like the simplicity of the words. Like it's often a single word or maximum 2 words. I think it might be 3 is the most. Follow your gut.
Yeah,
but they all
that is
make sense.
Yeah, they are 2 words and 3 words. And I was looking at some cards the other day that have been done for entrepreneurs. You know, we've got Dream Big. Dream Big on the full moon today is what is creating. Yeah, that's the one with the most. Follow your heart.
Yeah.
And the other one is Your Heart Knows. And the next set I'm doing will be the same. They won't have any more words, because what I want people to do is look at the words, look at the picture. If you look at the picture and you might think, oh, receive. You might see something else within there. I nearly didn't put any words on them. And then somebody said, oh, you need a guidebook. But no, the reason you don't have a guidebook is if you go to the guidebook and you read what somebody else has written, your heart's not listening. You're back up here in your head. And the whole idea of this is to bring yourself home to your heart and to allow you to lead with love.
I think it's important that it doesn't have a guidebook, because for me, it's probably one of the reasons I like this, because I'll pull the card, and if I don't understand what the meaning is for that day, I'll contemplate throughout the day. And it took me over a week to figure out what rest meant. But it gave me the opportunity to actually figure that out from within, which meant that it's landed and it's stuck. If I had read it in a book,
changing your whole life.
Yeah, if I had read it in a book, I would have just shut the book, and that would have been, oh yeah, cool, and off I go, and there would have been no implementation.
I think that's very interesting, because somebody asked me, would I write a guidebook for them? You know, somebody who's using them with somebody else. Oh, they said, oh, I want to have a guidebook. And I said, yes, your heart is your guide. I'm happy now to provide more questions and more ways to use the cards. And in my inner circle, which will start in April, we're going to be starting the inner circle. I'll be giving people lots more ways that we can use the cards and things like that. But I drew this card yesterday. It was Monday morning. Rest on a Monday morning. So I was a bit like, oh, this is what someone went through last week.
A week.
I didn't realise it was for a week. So I thought, oh, I'd actually done a lot of resting on Sunday. I decided to switch off. So I thought, okay, so we set intentions for the day. We usually set too many. So why not take one intention and complete it? And when you've done that, rest. Celebrate that you've done it, and then take a nap. Or as my parents used to say, 40 winks. And someone was just saying, you've started taking naps.
Yeah, so over the last probably 4 or 5 days, because I've got back in tune with the rest side of it, I've actually realised there was a deep internal exhaustion. And this is like a 20-year exhaustion. Like, oh gosh, I've just realised that I am extremely tired. And I think that's what, if I didn't stop, my body was giving me signs, if you don't stop, we're going to stop you.
Well, they did stop you with you.
Correct.
She broke her ankle.
So then, you know, it gave me, the card kept coming up, and so I felt like it gave me that permission to actually, I'm so tired, I think I could take a nap. And they weren't long, 20-minute naps or whatever, but it's really just helped to give me permission to actually do that for myself.
Well, that's what I got from yesterday, and I thought, I need to do that. Have a nap in the afternoon. And then your body says, and your heart smiles. And from that point, it's really good. So these are obviously something that you're getting a lot from in your life. And what would you recommend to anybody who's watching this who doesn't?
I actually think this is the essential card pack for entrepreneurs, especially heart-centered entrepreneurs, because you can't see the mountain you're standing on. You can see, and as a coach or mentor, I can see everyone else's mountain. That's what I'm honed to do, but I can't often see my own. And so we need that reminder, recalibration. So for me, every morning it helps to really center me and set that clear intention and remember to nurture, love and nourish myself first. It's like the aeroplane, put your own mask on first.
Yes.
And that's really what it's bringing back to me, which means that I can serve my people better from that point because my cup is full than I was before. So I think it's like an entrepreneur survival kit.
I think what a beautiful note to finish on. I might have a new name for these, the Heart Whisper Daily Guidance Oracle cards, the Entrepreneur Survival Kit. And just as we're finishing, if people want to know how they come and why they don't come in a box, I asked people said, no, they like this. If you want to take them with you, you can see your card for the day. They have a little tag on here so you can contact me. You get a personal handwritten note and you'll get some sort of, while I've still got lots at the moment, you'll get a painting which you can frame or put on the wall or give to somebody else. Yes, and I ship them around the world, and the link will be below this video. But I want to thank you so much today for making the time to come and re-record this, which has been beautiful. So everybody have a magical day. Remember to lead from your heart. We can all learn to love ourselves into absolute abundance. Namaste.
Namaste.